There were people calling names. It became politically risky for even Mr. President, because it took a different dimension from regional issues to religious issues. And you know, those things are things Nigerians are sensitive about. An average leader would have just backed down. He kept encouraging us to say, let's keep doing it. It's the right thing. I do not take that for granted, and I thought I should put it on record. And I've said a couple of times, Mr. President did not dictate anything to us. He allowed us to do our work professionally, only asking us questions and providing guidance. I think that's a very important example of how to provide leadership. Another thing that Mr. President did, which is extremely important, was to say he wasn't looking for a committee that will advise and take photos and walk away. He said we have to stay the course and support the government to implement. And anytime I think about it and I look back, I say, imagine we had submitted a report that says we write Nigerian laws, and we took photos and left. When it became very controversial, how would we have been able to deal with it? I think this model should be replicated for subsequent reforms, because it has worked. Having said that, today is a very important day in the life of our country, and by extension in the life of our people. Nothing of this magnitude has been done in the history of Nigeria, pre or post-independence. Today is the day that that very holistic reform that we have been asking for, some of us have been practicing as professionals for more than 2 decades. And we seem to be speaking to ourselves, or nobody was listening. It became very frustrating. We see the potential of the country and what was possible, but we're being held down by oaths, by laws that were anti-businesses, that were counterproductive all over the place. And having the courage to bring all of it together and put that reform through at this time is truly, truly commendable, and I'd like to say congratulations to all Nigerians. Now, these reforms are not about raising more taxes. I think people get it wrong. A lot of people, including analysts and commentators, will say, oh, where are they going to get the more taxes from? Nigerians are poor. This is exactly trying to relieve people of the burden of taxes. These tax laws, they are now laws, are pro-poor in particular. More than 1/3 of workers in both the private and public sector will now be exempted completely from PAYE. They will not have to pay personal income tax. Small businesses, over 90% of small and micro nano businesses, will no longer have to worry about paying corporate income tax or charging VAT or even deducting withholding tax or paying PAYE for their employees. What this means is that there will be more money in the hands of the ordinary Nigerian to take care of their daily needs. In addition to that, these laws also provide what we call zero rate of VAT on essential consumption. What does it mean? It means any traces of VAT in food, in education, in medical and health care is now removed completely. So we should see prices of those items come down. In addition to that, transportation, accommodation and housing is exempt from VAT. Our analysis, which was very clear, is that these items collectively account for more than 80% of where Nigerians spend their money. That's a huge relief for them. We also have provisions in those laws to help us improve efficiency. Efficiency in how we collect taxes, and also efficiency in the transparency of reporting the taxes we collect, which we expect should then be linked to how those taxes are utilized for the purpose of the people. This is really revisiting the social contract between the government and the people. In addition to that, these laws will promote Nigeria in terms of competitiveness. It's harmonizing the taxes that companies have to pay, reducing the burden of those taxes, and removing distortionary tax waivers and incentives. Because what has been happening is that if you are a very honest person doing your legitimate business and you don't know anyone, you will struggle because your colleague or your competitor who is well connected gets all manners of waivers that you don't have access to. That has been taken care of. There is now transparent incentive regime, reducing discretion and subjectivity, and it's available to anyone once the conditions are met. We also have provisions that speak to wasteful incentive generally, including how do we address tax evasion. This is another very important point. If you have two people doing business, one person is paying their taxes correctly and honestly, the other person is evading their taxes and paying bribe wherever they can find anyone. What we are essentially doing is we are incentivizing the tax evader and we are discouraging the compliant taxpayer. That is not a sustainable way of building a society. These tax laws also address that, because it's going to make tax evasion now more expensive while simplifying voluntary compliance. This is how we can build a society we can all be proud of. Of course, if you allow me to continue, there are a lot of other issues that I'm excited to start talking about them. But I think what is most important is to remind ourselves that why this event of today is so important, the journey is just beginning. Writing the law, no matter how beautiful, no matter how transformative, no matter how innovative, means nothing if it is not properly implemented. So we are mindful of that. We are not going to relax. Mr. President has given us the charge that now is the time to move to implementation. And we are ready. We are prepared. It is not something we can do alone, even from the government side. It is something we have to do collectively. Private sector, public sector, civil society, professional bodies, tax consultants, everyone, including our international partners who mean well for Nigeria. This is a time to implement with sincerity, laser focus, and with purpose, so that when we look back in another 1 or 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, we will say, yes, we came together as a people and did the right thing for our country. May God bless Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you very much.